Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. It's Friday. Welcome back to another Freedom Friday with Brooklyn. How are you all doing? I am doing well. We had a tropical storm here yesterday. It was like a hurricane. I know it's hurricane season, and we actually had to leave work early yesterday because it was flooding in the streets. But thank God that I am okay, and hopefully no one lost their lives yesterday. It was bad. So anyway, I'm going to jump right into the video. Before I get started, I'm going to wish you all a wonderful weekend and be safe out there, okay? So this morning we're going to talk about Kanye West, okay? Kanye West urinates on Grammy Award, says Prince and Michael Jackson were victims of the music industry. Kanye West has expanded his tirade against label ownership of musicians' master recordings, this time adding that Prince and Michael Jackson were killed by the music and media industries. We used to diss Michael Jackson. The media made us call him crazy. Then they killed him, West wrote on one tweet. In another, he posted a photo of Prince writing, "Let's get it big, bro. You and Michael passed so we can live." Then it says here, yesterday, September 15th, West said he wouldn't share any new music until he is released from his contracts with music publishers Sony and Universal. In tweets, he compared himself to Moses and the music industry to a modern day slave ship. Now, first of all, he's nowhere like Moses, okay? Not the Moses I read about. He's nowhere near Moses. Moses don't go on temper tantrum tirades about stupid stuff. And he just stupid. For one thing, he's nothing like Moses, and he could get off that high horse because he'll never be there. Number two, I remember back maybe a year or so ago, he was saying that slavery was a choice. That slavery was a choice. He was all for it, basically. And he was saying how it was a choice and we need to get over it, let the past go, move on from slavery. It is what it is. He's pro Donald Trump, all of this. I'm saying that to say this is that now he's saying that the music industry too is a modern day slave ship. But before, he didn't even acknowledge slavery. He didn't think that slavery even existed. He said that black folk chose to be in slavery. So now it's a modern day slave ship, which means you're being controlled and you don't want to be controlled. A slave ship carried slaves who didn't want to be taken anywhere from their homeland. So that means he feels as though the music industry is controlling him. Slavery. A year ago or so, it was our choice to be slaves. So why isn't it his choice? Now he want to get out. They won't let him out. Well, slaves been trying to get away for years. They were getting their feet chopped off. Their children were being sold to other plantations to keep them under their control. Now he wants to leave. Now him and Michael and Prince him now and them were victims. Okay? In other messages, West claimed that he's the only person who can speak on the issue of master ownership without being canceled. Hot News Hip Hop notes that some artists have managed to buy back their masters, including Jay-Z, Frank Ocean, and Rihanna. The artists deserve to own our masters. Artists are starving without tours. I'ma go get our masters for all artists. Pray for me, West wrote. Okay? The artist also claimed that Universal won't tell him how much his masters cost because they know I can't afford to buy them. He then went on to say he will stop at nothing and proceeded to share PDFs of his apparent contracts. And here they have pictures of his PDFs, okay? This is what Kanye West deal looks like today. I pray in the name of Jesus that it don't look like this tomorrow. Everyone at Universal and Vivendi Please understand that I will do everything in my legal power and use my voice until all artists' contracts are changed, starting with getting my masters for my children. I will not stop. I promise you, I am petty and very personal. Okay? After sending that tweet, he later posted a video clip of him appearing to urinate on a Grammy award stuck in the toilet bowl. Here it is. Okay? This man, there it is, right there. This man is just bipolar. I am convinced that Kanye West is bipolar. I understand him wanting to be free and in charge of his life. What, a month or so ago, Tamar Braxton said the same thing, that she felt like a slave, that she was being controlled by the music industry. Her life is not her own. She just said that. So we do know that these superstars are coming out now saying that the Illuminati is controlling them. They're being controlled. I understand what he's saying, but at the same time, not so long ago, he said that slavery was a choice. So how now are you comparing your career to slavery? But when everyone else was out there arguing about slavery and protesting about slavery and talking against how Donald Trump was making racial wars and things like that, he was on his side. And I'm not saying this to be against Trump. What I'm saying is he's eating crow. He just sat there not even a year ago and was fighting back and forth with black people saying that slavery was a choice. And that basically we have to get over it. Let the past go. You know, let it go. Now all of a sudden, he's a victim. And the music industry is a slave ship. And he, Michael Jackson, and Prince are victims. And he comparing himself to Moses, he done bumped his head because there's only one Moses. And the only other one that played Moses was Charleston Heston. And he was the only other one that I would ever say he portrayed a good Moses. But you can't compare yourself to no ancient biblical person. They're on a whole nother level. Even though God looks at us all the same, they're on a whole nother level. Moses dealt directly with God. God dealt directly with Moses. Ain't nobody dealing directly with him. His music industry probably ain't even dealing directly with him. Kim don't even want to deal directly with him. Only people that should be dealing directly with Kanye is the doctors. Because I am convinced, is bipolar. I'm not the only one that's saying it. It's in the news. People are calling this man bipolar. They are saying Kanye has mental problems. And he goes on rants and stuff. And he does. He ran for president. His name wasn't even on the ballot. He was out there having political meetings and waiting for groups to show up and ranting about his daughter and Kim. Nothing political. His name wasn't even on the ballots. So I feel like there is something definitely wrong with him. Now his master's, I'm assuming, is something having to do with music. It's not a master's degree, okay? It's something having to do with music, and he wants it. And I understand that. If it's his and he can buy it and be in control, then fine, so be it. So be it. But now you're eating crow. Do you remember what you said a year or so ago? That black people are overreacting. Slavery was a choice. We are in bondage and we are in slavery because we want to be, we choose to be. Well, he chose this situation too. He wanted to be a superstar. He sold everything over to the industry, and now you want it back. Just like people who were in bondage want their freedom back. It's no different. Now you're comparing it because now he's in that situation. Slavery comes in all forms. It's not just being on a plantation being beaten your back. Slavery comes in all forms. When you are being controlled by someone and you do not want to be controlled, that's a form of slavery. That's bondage. When you don't want to do something and somebody's making you do it, it's slavery. And I understand how him and Tamar and other superstars feel, but watch your mouth before you start saying something, then you have to come back and you have to eat crow. Now he has a whole plate of crow, a whole smorgasbord, because he said that he never even understood what slavery was about. He never faced racism. He has nothing. He knows nothing about racism. This is what Kanye West has stated in the past. Now, if you are comparing your career to slavery and a slave ship, then that means there must be some racism involved, right? Because you're comparing it to a slave ship. That's what you're doing. You're comparing it to a slave ship. And he says he compared himself to Moses and the music industry to a modern day slave ship. A slave ship carries slaves against their will from their country to another country. So he feels like he's being held against his will. He feels like a slave. Kanye, be careful what you say. He always up there saying something, running his mouth, and now he has to come back and he has to swallow that. Whole, he can't even chew it. He's choking on his words. But I'm sure he don't remember. And if he do remember, he's not going to admit it, that he made a grave mistake with those words. We have to be careful. Michael Jackson and Prince, they said, was killed by the industry. I don't have no idea. I just know what I hear about how they died. But everybody is saying that they were sacrificed, And I'm sure a lot of sacrificial things go on, I'm sure, in that industry, because it's a wicked industry. You make a lot of money, but people today with even no talent are making billions of dollars, and they don't even have talent. So something's going on, something strange. And don't make no mistake, people will sell their soul for money. People are tired of struggling. They want money. They grew up poor. They would do anything for money. It doesn't matter. But then when it's time to collect, when it's time to be collected upon, they don't want that. And they've been saying for a while that Kanye West has mental problems, and I'm not picking at him for having mental problems, because people do have mental problems. But a lot of times you still know what you're doing. You're not so mental that you don't know how to make music. You're not so mental that you're not still handling business. He still knows how to handle business. He still knows what he's doing in that form. So I don't know if people are saying that he has a mental problem or if he has actually admitted to it. But some of the things that he do is off the chart, like peeing on his Grammy. But when he won that Grammy, he was holding it up in the air, and that was the best day of his life. But now you're pissing on it. So I would like to know what's going to happen with this. If he gets his masters, if he come back and tell us that he succeeded in that, and he's going to go after other people's masters. And from what I'm gathering, he even seems like he will pay to get their masters. And I'm sure it costs a lot of money to pay for that stuff, to get it out, So he's not liking his contracts. They don't look good to him anymore. So there's a lot of things going on with Kanye, but thank God he ain't up for presidency, because I don't know. It's already bad, and I don't know if I want him now. He can't be president. I'm sorry. Now, Kanye don't need to be up in no White House trying to dictate nothing. He can't even run his own household with Kim and his sisters-in-laws and his mama-in-law. So, but anyway, with that being said, I am going to say vielen Dank. That's thank you very much in German. So vielen Dank for watching me. And tschüss, that's what? That's bye in German. Talk to you all later. Have a wonderful weekend.